This meeting is being recorded, televised, and viewable on Swiftel Channel 19, ITC Channel 168, or the Brookings County YouTube channel. Now call the meeting to order. Richard, did you do a roll call?
Bartley.
Present.
Dietrich.
Here.
Kleinjohn.
Here.
Vanderwall.
Here.
Jensen. Erickson.
Here.
And Ford.
Here.
We have 6 members present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Approval of minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Diedrich, second by Vanderwall. Richard, would you call roll?
Bartley.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Kleinjohn.
Aye.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
And Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Invitation for citizens to schedule a time on the commission agenda for an item not listed. Anyone wanting to speak? Seeing and hearing none. Disclosure of conflicts of interest. Relationships to applicant ex parte communication. Is there any? Seeing none, we'll move on. Approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Vanderwall, second by Kleinjohn. Roll call vote.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Kleinjohn.
Aye.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Bartley.
Aye.
And Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Election of officers for 2021. I'll now turn it over to Richard.
The nominating committee, do you have a slate, Spencer? Nomination for chairman?
I nominate Chad Ford for chairman.
Second.
Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations for chair? Any other nominations? Seeing none, I'll call for a unanimous ballot for chairman for Chad Ford.
You want a motion to that effect?
Yes.
You could just vote.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. You do vice chair, or you want to do vice chair?
Don't matter.
Okay, we'll open up nominations for vice chair.
I
Nomination.
nominate Daryl Kleinjohn.
Okay, we have a nomination of Daryl Kleinjohn. Is there any other nominations? Any other nominations?
I'll second that nomination.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, I'll move that nomination cease and cast unanimous ballot for Daryl Kleinjohn for vice chairman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Opposed, same sign. Daryl Kleinjohn is your new vice chair. Chad, I'll turn the meeting over back to you.
Thank you. We will now convene as the Brookings County Board of Adjustment. The Board of Adjustment is a 9-member board which has the power to hear requests for variances, conditional uses, and appeals from non-ministerial decisions of the zoning officer. The concurring vote of 2/3 of the full board membership of the board, 6 votes is necessary for approval of a variance or an appeal of the zoning officer. The concurring vote of a simple majority of those board members present and voting is necessary for approval of a conditional use permit. In accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, we require that a motion to approve a request before the request can be debated. As a matter of policy, all motions are to be made in the positive. The board, under specific powers granted to it by the state, shall authorize variances from the zoning requirements where special conditions existing on the land will result in unnecessary hardship for the applicant. Financial disadvantage to the property owner shall not constitute proof of an unnecessary hardship. Agenda item 2021, variance 001, Kleinjohn Farms Incorporated has made an application 2021 variance 001 to the Brookings County Board of Adjustment for a variance Article 11, Section 11.01A, Agricultural District, Area Regulation Number 3, Side Yard, The property is described as the north 179 feet of Block 2 of the plat of Block 1 and 2 of Mann's Addition in the east half of Section 21 Township 111 North Range 51W, Oakwood Township. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Diedrich,
Second.
second by Kleinjohn. Richard, would you read the staff report?
Yes, 2021 variance 001. Klein John Farms, Inc. has applied for a side yard variance to build a grain bin 10 to 15 feet from the side property line. The required setback is 25 feet. The proposed bin would be the same size as the 3 existing bins, and the 3 existing bins are 10 feet and 15 feet from the side property line, depending on the style of the ventilation or aeration fan. The proposed bin will meet the front yard setback of 133 feet from the center of 463rd Avenue, and the parcel is 179 feet wide by 1,660 feet long and narrow. Klein John Farms were granted variances in 2006, 2013, and 2016 to build the 3 existing bins closer to the property line. And we went out and took pictures, and we received a comment from the adjoining landowner, which was included, and I'll read here in just a minute. Things to consider are the shape and the size of the lot, the location of electrical transformer, and public notices were published in the Brookings Register on December 22nd and 29th, 2020, and the Volga Tribune on December 24th, 2020. And letters were sent to the Oakwood Township Chairman and Clerk and the adjoining landowners. Here's his application. The site plan is 3 bins. New proposed bin would go right on the end here. Road is right here. Other buildings long. This is the long, narrow lot outlined in yellow right here, as you can see on the beacon map. And this would be the 10 to 15 feet, depending on what style of aeration fan it would have on there. One is at 10 feet, and the other ones are at 15 feet. And received a comment from the adjoining landowner that lives just to the south there. Manuel Land Street. Jonathan Kleinjohn received this on December 14th, 2020. Jonathan Kleinjohn called me and told me about he was filing for a side yard variance request to build a grain bin adjacent to the north side of my property. I just wanted to send a brief email to the zoning board stating that I have no problem with the variance. Respectively, Deputy Manny Land Street. Here's some photos. This is looking from the driveway looking towards the south there. This is looking north. This is just looking straight on towards the bin site from the road. This bin, the bin that's closest to the road now is 15 feet. The fan is 15 feet from the side property line. And this is the farthest west bin, and that fan is 10 feet from the property line. I just want to preserve the space in there to get the auger in there and still be able to bring trucks in and load it. So that's the reason for the side yard setback. And that's all that I have. And Mr. Kleinjohn is on the phone with us this evening.
Jonathan, are you there?
Yes.
Do you have anything to add to Richard's report?
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the variance request into consideration. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person tonight, but I think he said things pretty well. I think the paperwork's fairly self-explanatory. We'd like to build another bin, and we'd like it in the same row as the other ones to conserve space. And then someday if we want to put a grain conveyor across the top, it'll make things simple there too. I guess I can't think of anything to add. Like was said, I've spoken with Manny about it. He has no problem with it. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. I will now open the public portion of the hearing. Is there anybody in the audience or on the phone that is for this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience or on the phone that is against this? Seeing and hearing none, I will now close the public portion of the hearing. Is there any additional comments or questions from members of the board? Seeing and hearing none, Richard, would you read the findings of the facts?
Yes, variance 2021 VAR 001, an application for variance have been filed with the Brookings County Zoning Commission, acting as a Brookings County Board of Adjustment. Copy of the application being attached hereto. Such application being made by Klein John Farms, Inc. regarding the following real property. The north 179 feet of Block 2 of the plat of Block 1 and 2 of Man's Addition in the east half of Section 21, Township 111 North, Range 51 West, Oakwood Township. After due notice, a public hearing having been held on the application on this 5th day of January 2021. Number 1, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment hereby finding that the strict application of the Brookings County zoning ordinance would not produce undue hardship, that such hardship was not shared generally by other properties in the same district in the same vicinity, that the authorization of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or the character of the district will not be changed by the granting of the variance. And the granting of such variance is based upon reasonable, demonstrable, and exceptional hardship on distinguishing from variations for the purpose of convenience, profit, and caprice. Number 2, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further finding that the condition or situation of the property concerned or the intended use of the property is not so general or reoccurring in nature as to make reasonable, practicable the formulation of a general regulation to be adopted as an amendment to the zoning ordinance. Number 3, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further finding that the written application of the petitioner demonstrates that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or buildings in the same district. That literal interpretation of the provisions of the Brookings County zoning ordinance would provide the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the same terms of the ordinance. That the special conditions and circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, that granting of the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by the ordinance to other lands, structures, or buildings in the same district. Number 4, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further finding that the reasons set forth in the application justify the granting of the variance and that the variance is a minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure, and that granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and the intent of the Brookings County zoning ordinance and will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the public welfare. Number 5, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further determines and conditions this variance upon the following special conditions or safeguards. A, shape and size of lot, location of existing building, and grain bins. The Brookings County Board of Adjustment, by at least 2/3 vote of its full membership, hereby grants the above petitioner a variance for the above described real property as follows. Build run grain bin with the aeration fan 10 to 15 feet from the south property line, depending on the style of the fan. This variance is specifically conditioned upon initial and continuing compliance with all the conditions and safeguards in 5 above and upon compliance with all applicable provisions of the Brookings County zoning ordinance. The Brookings County zoning director, if approved, is authorized to issue any required building permits for construction consistent with the terms of this variance. If this variance is not used within 3 years of the date granted, it shall be invalid. Dated this 5th day of January, 2021.
Anything to add? Seeing none, Richard, would you call vote?
Klein John.
Aye.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Jensen.
Yes.
Erickson.
Aye.
Bartley.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
And Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Moving on, agenda item number 10, department reports.
Yes, sir. The first thing that came up, the county commission met today for the first time. And Commissioner Bartley's been reappointed to the Planning and Zoning Board for another year. And the county commission voted a $75 meeting fee for the Planning and Zoning Board. So that would be a $25 per meeting pay raise. And Other than that,
Muted.
we've got a year-end report that Ray Lynn should have had on your chair. If you want to take a look at, she can pipe in if she wants. But as you can see, we had 11 meetings. We had 3 joint city-county planning meetings for the joint jurisdiction area. We basically came to a stop on a lot of stuff on April 7th with COVID-19 procedures. We doubled our conditional uses for the year.
Unmuted.
2019, we had 12. 2020, we had 24. Variance request went up by 5. Plats jumped up to 29 from 18. So we've been busy. It's not that we haven't been doing anything during the COVID time. We've been productive, in my opinion. At the end of 2020, we had 3 of our members retire, resign, or leave. You take your pick. Mr. Nelson, 23 years. Mr. Spence, 5 years. And Mr. Davis had 6 years. We still working on our zoning ordinance. We're hoping to get that kick-started here pretty soon. First District's provided assistance throughout the year, and I attended the American Planning Association conference, digital version, which means I sat in my office and did it. We issued 150 building permits worth $19.8 million, which actually isn't overly bad if you look at the historical records. We had 24 million a year ago, but back in 2008 we had 10 million. So that one fluctuates quite a bit, and there's a breakdown there. I won't go down each one of them. The good thing is our building inspector on the other page, he's really been going after the old inspections. We started this inspection program just before I came on board in 2003, and we've had several outstanding ones, and what that means is that money's sitting there to be used. It's money that we deposited to be for the actual inspections, and with Ray Lynn and Richard's diligence and the building inspector's diligence, we're down now. You know, we don't have any of them from before 2008 open anymore. So we're finally catching up, and that will make it easier for us to do the budget from now on. Other than that, are there any questions on it? This has not been given to the county commission yet. I wanted to give it to this board first, give you a chance to review it, see if you had any corrections. If you do have any corrections over the next few days, you can email Ray Lynn, and she can input them, research them, and input them. But things to look at, you know, our building inspections have not increased since 2003. And I don't really see any inkling right now in this, especially in the COVID-19 type time frame, to do any raising of anything. Our budget, we're not getting complaints on our budget just yet from the county commission, but we'll see. The county, the way we're funded, COVID really hasn't affected us much. There's a lot of communities out there where COVID is getting hit hard, nationwide, not South Dakota per se, but nationwide. And there's a lot of planning offices getting hit hard. So I feel we're fortunate. I got a good staff. We got a good planning board. We got a good county commission. So I feel blessed. And the only other thing is the COVID-19, of course, it's still out there. There's a new variant in the United States, been verified in the United States. We expect it to start exploding here about January 7th, 7 days after New Year's. We'll see. It may not affect South Dakota. South Dakota is not a real big partier per se like they are in some of the bigger states. But you'll start seeing the British variant. And right now, all of the medical people in Brookings County has been vaccinated that wanted to be vaccinated. And all the nursing home patients, I believe, they got different categories. Right now, they're to the category, what's known as EMS, emergency medical system type people. They're doing the law enforcement, and they're doing the corrections people, such as the jailers and stuff like that. And they're working on those. They expect those to be done by the end of the month. And then we're going to slowly but surely move into the part where we're going to start giving the vaccinations to the people 65 and older, and someone that's got severe health issues. And those plans, we are talking about them, but we don't have anything in stone yet. You just have to keep an eye. We're going to start running some ads like in the Town and Country Shopper, so you can read about what's going on. And some of you that don't have Facebook might want to look at Facebook. We'll get a lot of our messaging out that way. And in the radio, we're going to radio as much as we can. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, congratulations. And that's all I have.
Alrighty, thank you.
Richard may have something. I don't know.
Nope, just we're gonna get started again on the ordinance update and get working on that so we can get that updated, and got a couple items on the February agenda already, so we'll have a back to work.
And you might let Mr. Mueller speak if you so desire.
Do you have anything, Luke?
I sure do not. I hope you have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Is there any need for an executive session?
No, sir.
Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Diedrich,
Second.
second by Vanderwall. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.